All right.
Hey, don't worry about being nervous.
Oh, I'm not nervous.
He's really not. He's
All right. Everybody cool? Am I holding the mic far away now?
Yeah, good. Go ahead, Zach.
All right. So our story. All right. Well, we've been having a busy week. I'm with my twin flame here, and we love this stuff. And well, beginning of this week, it was really crazy. First, a couple days ago, we were driving in Horton Plaza, and on the top of the parking structure, I noticed there was a guy about to jump. And so we pulled over immediately, and Meg was like, pull over, there's a space right there. And we got out of the car, and immediately we both knew we needed to go look at this guy and just send him positive energy. And we were staying there for like 30 minutes just waiting this out. At one point, he looked directly at us. Someone started yelling out. The police didn't want him to, but, don't jump. And I got 5 people to be like, no, it's we love you. We started going like this. We started yelling, we love you to him. Yeah. We were stared him out for like 30 minutes. And finally, oh man, it felt so good seeing that guy climb back over.
Back into his safety, and we just like, Zach swept me up, and we were like,
yeah,
so we did our mission. So, actually, a lot of things have been happening.
Yeah, the next thing that really happened was we discovered something in a video, and we'll talk about that later. We discovered a very important unidentified flying thing, vibrating, flickering with light. We discovered something very special about that. And then after that, a couple days ago, I think it was yesterday, right? We met.
Yesterday, we were walking near the beach. Was it Point Loma?
Was it Coronado?
We were in Coronado, and this little child, he's about this high,
8.
he walks past us, and he says...
The first thing he said was, how many states of matters are there? And we were just like, what? And we didn't say it to anybody else.
He was like...
He said, how many states of matter are there? Do you guys know how many states of matter there are? And first I was like, we stopped, and I just said, 4, right? And I said, well, I bet there's probably 12 or more, right? And he just looked at us, and then we started talking, and then finally we asked, like, well, you mean plasma, right? There's 4, right? And he's like, no, there's 5. The Higgs boson, like, condensate. And he was just really smart, and you could see it in his eyes. At one point, we showed him a picture of the sun on our phones, and he would just look at us and said, yes, very distinct rainbows. And we were like, yes, very distinct rainbow children walking up to us like a movie. Really incredible. So anyway, let's get to our presentation. So a lot of stuff's been happening. We were assigned basically, and our computer got a virus last night when we were trying to finish this up.
Never happened before.
Really weird. Cut off my internet connection.
Protection and everything, and the whole thing just crashed. But
so anyway,
we had it online. So here we go.
We were assigned, the objective of explaining how light can affect DNA, maybe give us a boost, genetic upgrade, and this concept of a galactic superwave coming from the center of our galaxy. So anyway, we all know about Dr. Paul LaViolette. Maybe some of us know about him. He's written some books. He talks about a neutron star-like object at the center of our galaxy with all the galaxy's gravity just compressing onto it, and this thing would be pulsing, and it would be EMP-like pulses. These things could cause earthquakes, they could cause earth changes, but they could also more positively affect our DNA. Here we have, the electromagnetic spectrum. You have the sine wave pattern in nature. Here we have some diagrams. There's some of how UV light will damage DNA for, sterilization in the lab. And here we have a representation of triple-strand DNA, which I thought looked a lot like the motion of our planets, which swirl around not on a plane, but like this through the galaxy, like on the galaxy's carousel that goes up and down like this around the whole galaxy. And our solar system is actually kind of like tilted. And this is from a Nassim Haramein video. And it looks like that right there. And this is a crop circle that we thought was very interesting because it shows...
Yeah, it shows an energetic field in the middle. If you see the hexagonal symmetry in there, the sacred geometry is mind-blowing. You've got the DNA swirling around it, and then there's like a supercell right in the middle. It's like they're telling us something is going on with our DNA, and it's going to affect everyone and everything on this planet. And we're just figuring out, what could be the catalyst for that. And maybe it is a super wave, because the center of the galaxy is the most intelligent, most spiritually evolved part. And if there are waves like pulsating through our galaxy, and they're washing upon us, and we're going to receive those energetic upgrades, our consciousness interfaces with our immediate area and everything in it. So we'll be receiving those, and I think we already are.
Yeah, I think we're already seeing some of this stuff. Can I see the next slide before? Yeah, there's this report of some kids being able to learn echolocation. There's also some reports in China of some very gifted psychic children who can see objects through their elbows and through different parts of their bodies, and they can actually, they've gone in front of large groups of the Chinese government to do different psychic displays, and they can actually target genomes and actually change their DNA molecule by molecule. If they actually are shown how to do it, they can actually do stuff like that. It's pretty incredible. And children are learning how to use echolocation when they're blind, and it just seems like maybe we are experiencing some of these effects, which may occur from cosmic rays coming from, for example, supernova. There's one exploded in 1987, the year I was born, and maybe this led way to a new evolved type of person. Just kidding, but there's this pulsar at the center of the galaxy. It's like a cosmic heartbeat. This particular pulsar was in the Tarantula Nebula and the Large Magellanic Cloud, which is like orbiting our galaxy. We think that there could be a lot of these events that are maybe represented in crop circles. These crop circles really look like the different spectrum photography of the galaxy. Of the supernova explosion. Sorry. And and also, if you guys didn't see, there was a very new article about Betelgeuse going supernova.
I actually stumbled upon this a couple of days ago, so this is brand new. We weren't planning to put this in here. I was thinking about maybe Betelgeuse. Maybe it's already undergone this change. Maybe the waves already reached Betelgeuse, and maybe it's going to reach us next, because apparently the Earth could have a second sun for a week or two, and there are other sources saying it could be as long as 3 weeks. So they're saying it could happen by the end of this year. So I'm very excited to see what happens, because if we're light beings, if we interact with light and are charged by light and have light bodies, then
imagine 2 weeks of just sunlight at night. Everyone would be out
24
at night,
hours of light. There'd be so much life all the time.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
All right, so can I go next slide? All right. Well, yeah, of course. So you want to go faster?
Okay, so quickly, this is about indigo children. Zack and I are indigo children, and that child that we talked to on the street that found us right before our conference is also an indigo child. Okay, so those right there, those are things that will help evolve indigo children. You can read them. The big thing is really spiritual study and inner self-exploration. When we do that, when we go inward with ourselves and do that self-work and that self-evolution, it affects everybody holographically. And
science has really started to understand electromagnetism coming out of the body, like
those two. That dark picture right there, that's
photography is a way to capture it.
Yes, those are fingerprints on the left side, and they're people thinking like just harmonious thoughts, like deflection and being defensive. And then if you see on the other side, the red side, there's like an arc of energy connecting the fingerprints, and their fields start to morph. But go to the next slide.
And so, this is just about how if we're made, if we have light bodies, if mainstream science recognizes this stuff as the L field or Kirlian photography or black body radiation or the biophoton, which is left behind by a DNA strand and is made of light, then and not biophosphorus or luciferin or the bioluminescence chemical. But there's this guy named David Wolf, and he talks about how we need to have different color foods of this whole spectrum, and that will be healthier just by default. It's just kind of instinctual.
Raw foods, because it's very important that we eat foods that are charged with the sunlight and the moonlight. That's like the part that supports our energetic bodies, and it's very important. And actually, since I'm from Vermont, since being here, I feel so much better. There's so much life here, and I have to say, it's such a gorgeous place. We are all so lucky to live here. I love California. Okay.
Next slide.
Your turn.
You go next slide. Okay, so this is a crop circle that we saw. We were really interested in understanding why they put this tree of life pattern at the crop circle. We saw a flower of life pattern. We saw pictures where they match up. We also found some other patterns, some other sacred geometry that we found was very interesting. Comes from different types traditions, but we'll go through this real quick. We'll speed up.
Okay, so right here you can see that these are two signatures, and you can see that they look disharmonious. They don't really match up, but we found these pictures and we were like, wow, this is really cool because these match up right here, and you can build like whole entire geometric structures with this. And this symbol seems to be I don't know, it's almost like there are two missing up here. But if you go to the next slide.
Next slide. So
this is Andromeda. This is the Andromeda galaxy, and this is our galaxy. And you can see that this one is living. You can see that it's exchanging energy with everything around it, all of the galaxies and other planets and stars. And down here, it looks like there's so many energetic blockages to those of you who can see auras or energetic fields. It does not look healthy. It doesn't look coherent. It looks kind of like, it looks like it's not resonating with itself.
Like physically, we know it's like not as big. It doesn't have an active galactic nucleus like Andromeda does that has energy still coming out of it. And even every picture of Andromeda, there's not so much of a spiral with different deformed waves. There's more of just more concentric circles. They are a spiral, but they're more of a larger concentric circles, and especially the X-ray photograph of Andromeda. You can see these very large circles that are like this, So anyway,
so this is some more sacred geometry. It's just it's on like a microcosmic, macrocosmic level. If you just want to look at that, this is how it starts with 2 of them, and then 4, and then more. But you can go to the next slide.
So this is a picture of 2 gamma ray emitting bubbles that we just discovered a couple months ago, apparently, and they're 2 giant X-ray structures visible in the X-ray spectrum, and apparently they have something to do with the supermassive black hole at the center of our galaxy and the emission jets that come out. And that is another type of picture that shows the cosmic microwave background radiation in the image. And we can go to the next slide. And so we just wanted to put this slide here to get people thinking, what if our map was upside down? What if the continents were upside down in Antarctica, which some people, rumor to say that actually is Atlantis, and it's underneath the waters, a sunken continent, and the Pierre Reese map shows, Antarctica without the ice. How'd they know that? Well, anyway, what if that's at the North Pole? What if up is actually the opposite way? What if our poles aren't aligned with the sun's pole? And what if we had them aligned, things might work out better? Who knows? This is a local group. This is Andromeda up there, Milky Way down here. So
there's some scientists that believe that the Milky Way was once part of Andromeda, and that makes
sense. And that we came apart, and we all know, that we rotate around Sirius, and Sirius revolves around Arcturus. Arcturus revolves around some massive star, I forget the name, but people always, there's videos on the Discovery Channel where they show Andromeda and the Milky Way colliding. So
theoretically, if we raise our frequency, we might be able to reconnect with the Andromeda if we're vibrating at the same level.
And this is a picture of a super massive structure that was photographed very recently, and you can actually, that's that bubble in the green cloud. It's like 200,000 light years across something. That bubble is actually it's just a giant shadow box. So if you put your hand in front of that object that was in front of the galaxy that made a shadow, you would have your projection as big as the galaxy on that green cloud right there. So anyway, go to the next slide.
Okay, so a lot of people think we're in the age of universal reincarnation. It makes a lot of sense. When one fractal of our holographic reality changes, the whole hologram changes. And there's 7 billion of us here right now. It appears that we're all here to alleviate our past life karma and to reach new levels of understanding, compassion, and at-one-ment, which is atonement. At-one-ment, the one love. I feel like I have a very important mission to fulfill, and Zach helps me do that. We're in the midst of a divine rescue mission, and each of us has chosen to come here. And the really cool thing is, if we do self-work, if we work on ourselves, like we can, our exponential consciousness will reach a critical mass, causing our species to undergo a positive energetic shift without abridging the free will of any entity. We don't need to step on anyone's toes. We don't need to try to convince people of anything. It's all about self-work, and if Zach can explain that down there.
Very recently, again, January 6th, this article on Phys.org explains how, this is an image of it, scientists create a hologram of atoms using electrons, and I was just thinking about the universe being holographic and how all of us are just shards of this oneness, and it's like light going through a prism, and we're all just fractalizations of each other. And it just got me thinking, about the holographic universe and the idea that every soul on the planet may be if you believe in reincarnation, well, what if there's so many people right now? There's like 7, there's gonna be 8 or 9 maybe billion people. What if all these people are back on reincarnated right now? Everyone who's ever lived, what if they are alive now? And we're gonna go through some process together. I don't know. It just got me thinking. Want to go to the next slide? So this is a picture. I don't know if I won't explain too much. All right. So we were at our friend's house recording some UFOs through some night vision goggles, and we saw this bubble of light, like a ring of translucent ring, energetically skip around, defying all the laws of physics, being in 2 places at the same time in certain frames, and moving around in front of the night vision camera, middle of San Diego, and with all the light pollution and everything, and it flew right in front of the camera. It started skipping around, and my friend got a video of it, and it was there the same day that we actually visited.
Okay, so what you're looking at is actually we showed this.
We paused the video and we found something.
The first thing that we saw was that it seems like there is a triangle facing upward, and then there's another one facing downward. It looks like a 6-pointed star. And the first thing that Zach's mother said was, "Oh, it looks like Virgin Mary is on the inside. Don't you see her head? And it looks like she's sideways." And we're like,
that thing. Well,
she knew what it was before I even told her.
Yeah,
but
she was just seeing things inside. But we were seeing
like,
this
wow,
thing.
that's
we were seeing this
interesting.
big triangle this way. I don't know if you might be able to see that.
You see the triangle,
and another triangle
and then
this
there's
way.
one oriented
and it looks
upward.
like 3-dimensional, and it looks like this.
If you go to the next
shape.
slide, there's
If we go to the next slide.
more pictures.
Yeah, we kind of overlaid the geometry of what I was talking about, and
kind of see it better how it matches up like that.
And so there's a lot of talk about the light body, the star tetrahedron being an energetic light vehicle, and Merkaba is the name for it in every language around the world. They might say Merkaba or Merkaba, but it's always the same word. Excuse me. And these are just some diagrams, some cool sacred geometry art to maybe represent, energetic fields. And you want to go to the next slide?
Okay, so this is a photo that I took at the beach the other day. What is that right there? You guys see that? I don't know what it is, but I thought it'd be really cool to throw it into the presentation. I know it's not from the lens flare or anything like that, but there. And if you look closely, you can actually see that it's hexagonal. You can see that there are 6 sides to it.
Next slide. Next slide. Oh, can you? There's 2 more. What happened? Remember
They were right.
Can you?
You've been having a bit of interference.
Yeah. Can you just go back to the bottom 2 slides real quick? The very bottom. There they are.
Yeah, there they are.
Can you just click on that? All right. So this is from friend Brian Finale, and he's in South America, around Ecuador, Peru, and this is some command system. Maybe we don't know. It's probably really cool to sit in there. The stone megalithic shape would definitely shield you from cosmic rays and really be maybe quite comfortable for meditation.
We were thinking it could be transportation, possibly to elsewhere, but that's.
We'll go next slide. So last slide, and this is another picture of these. We hear a lot of stories and a lot of ancient texts describe stone structures and gateways that may look different maybe on the astral plane. This may open up, and go places. Who knows? So there's a lot of these cool stone megalithic structures somewhere on top of mountains that are giant 100-foot stone towers that have fallen over in the top of the Andes. And there's a lot of stuff in South America that we could explore. It's really cool. So thanks for your time, guys.
Thank you very much.
Oh, well, yeah. Let's talk about what we found.
Okay.
Nice job, Zach. Nice job. While these 2 are up here with me, I'd like to talk about the synchronicity that happened. The still that they showed you before was actually a video that I filmed, and I was trying to figure out what the heck this thing was that was cruising by, and I saw it outside my place for about 8 days before I actually, no, more like 5 days since I got it on video. And then, I saw it every night, finally videotaped it. And then afterwards, it's still been out there. And it looks like a ring, but it's actually a sphere because it moves in and out of perspective, but it never tilts towards you, away from you, if you think of a quarter. So we were trying to figure it out. And these 2, the day before, went jewelry shopping and on eBay. And actually, this just came in the mail, so they must have ordered it way before I got the footage.
Yeah, we ordered a couple days before I got the footage, and we got hers the day that we went over to his house.
So she just moved over here from Vermont, just out of the blue. Okay, and so I'm having trouble deciphering what I'm figuring out. She comes over. They have these Merkabas on. And we discovered by looking at the
because she wanted to buy these.
we saw the geometry in the video, and I've been trying to figure out what is this geometry. There's triangles, there's this, there's that, and I wasn't sure if it's a spaceship.
And they don't look completely uniform because it's spinning.
The
the
Merkaba
top
spins.
one is spinning counterclockwise. The bottom one is spinning.
You want to play a
clockwise,
spinning
so.
Merkaba field, Austin?
I looked
see
at the
that.
video and I looked at this and I was like, oh my God, there's a. I know.
Yeah.
I looked at it. I was pausing it.
So
I was trying to cut.
one day
close
later,
the
they
code.
come over and they had these Merkaba fields on, and they pull them out, and she drapes it in front of me, and she goes, "You have a Merkaba field." And by golly, we looked at it, and a Merkaba is a six. This is a 3D representation of the Star of David. So
star,
it's a 6-pointed star.
Well, it's 2D, but in 8D.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's-
3D,
it's-
there's
In 3D, it's 8-pointed.
There's 4.
Yeah, so it's 8-pointed in 3D, but
when
in
you look
2D,
at it
it's
straight on, it
6.
looks like 6. Yeah.
So if you can cut the lights, we'll go